Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. Yeah, I've been gone a while, and I was just finishing up classes. I'm now on summer vacation, and had a lot of things going on family-wise. My grandma came to visit, just a lot of things going on. Um, yeah, but I have been working on the island behind the scenes. So I did replace more villagers. I now have Pate on the island because Pate is to represent the character Kessie. I originally wanted Robin because she's the only female blue bird in the game, but Pate to me just matched Kessie's vibes more than Robin did, even though Pate is a duck and not a bird. Still very similar, but we have Pate. And if you don't know, Kessie is actually Rabbit's adopted daughter, so that's why her house is next to Gaston's, who's our rabbit character fill-in. And I also have Tia. Am I biased towards Tia? Yes, Tia's my absolute favorite villager. And I had this idea because the Winnie the Pooh characters are like Christopher Robin's stuffed animals that he manifested into living things. I had an idea because there's this tea set in the game that has a variation that kind of looks like Tia. It reminds me of Tia. And I was like, maybe he saw this and manifested it into Tia. I don't know. This last villager slot has changed a bunch for a bunch of different reasons. I had Sasha, I had Tad, I had Rudy, I had Tipper. It's changed for a bunch of different reasons. But Tia is the permanent resident. I've already designed her house. And then as you can see, I did a lot of terraforming. I did basically almost all the terraforming is really done. We have one area left that's going to be terraformed later. And today we're going to be working on Rabbit's farm. And Rabbit's farm starts from where my character is standing, which is in front of Samson's house. Samson is our gopher stand-in. And it's going to extend up past Rabbit and Kessie's house. So, yeah, we're going to be working on that today. Without further ado, we are going to start this speed build. Hi guys, voiceover me here. Some things were filmed a little out of order, but I wanted to start with the island homes first for a change. I really wanted the vibe for each of the houses to be, farmers. So Samson, I wanted him to be like a very active farmer, partly because Samson himself is a jock villager. So I wanted it to be like he has his own garden, like this is more of a backyard than in his house, like a kind of patio type thing. So I wanted it, to look like he's growing things inside his house, essentially. Making it small but cozy. It's just the first house to, get started with the whole vibe. For Kessie's house, I wanted the vibe to be that since Kessie is very small, she doesn't do as much of the big heavy work. So I put her she works with flowers, Spoilers, I end up changing her house off camera. I originally wanted to use the butterfly wall, and I don't know why I forgot to use it when doing the actual build. It just slipped out of my mind. So later I do actually put the butterfly wall instead. I put the door on the left side because as you'll see from the rest of the build, I wanted to look like her house is actually connected to Gaston's because, like I said, Rabbit and Kessie in Winnie the Pooh are father and daughter. But outside of that, I wanted it to be very pleasant, almost like, a young girl would live in this room and such, and kind of, just likes flowers, to help her dad out and stuff. And lastly, for Rabbit's interior, going back to that theory of that the Winnie the Pooh characters are based off of mental disorders, Rabbit himself is based off of OCD, so I wanted his house to be very neat and clean, a very big opposite to Gaston's base house. But yeah, I found this code for this really cute reading nook, and I wanted it to, I thought it would be perfect to use in Gaston's house. As you see, I go back and forth a lot with the wallpaper before deciding on one. And spoilers, I actually do change the exterior of the house. I really didn't like it after I time traveled and saw it next to Pate's house. There's the door that would connect to Pate's house. And I just really wanted the house to, of course, be neat and organized, you know. Everything has its place and it's in its place, etc., etc. Nice little living space. I like to think that, you know, Cassie comes over and they have dinner and such. And of course, he's a rabbit, so I put carrots around his home as well. And by carrots, I mean just like the carrot cake and a singular carrot. But I thought it was really cute. Sort of got some farmer vibes, not entirely, but I think at the end of the day, this is a really nice, pleasant home to look at. One thing I do also change is that I wanted to put the Gaston's photo and Pate's photo up, you know, like he's putting up pictures of his daughter. But I actually didn't have Pate's photo because I didn't do her home in Happy Home Paradise yet. But I eventually fixed that off camera. So if you do tour the DA and Rabbit's home, you'll see that. That's just, yeah, like a lot of these things did get fixed a lot, off camera, because after like looking back at everything, there were things I just didn't like, so I went back and fixed them. So with Samson's area, I do my usual. I de-weed, I planted trees I want to either grow or stunt. And there's kind of a lot to do, you know, setting up the fencing and setting up the dirt for his farm. And he has this cliff behind him that I want you to be able to like climb up, and it goes to this little sitting area for him that I have to eventually do as well. It doesn't, and luckily it is a small space, but because it's also a small space, like there isn't too much room to do like a big farm on. I do want to save the big farm for Rabbit. Rabbit's going to have a carrot farm because Rabbit, but I think Samson's house should be very simple, and I kind of like simplicity, you know, and I think it works here for him. Before starting on Pate and Gaston's house, there's this area that I terraformed a while ago that I wanted to be like a shed, but like this rooftop shed thing that maybe they can relax on when they aren't, you know, working and such, with this log bridge that eventually connects to this area above, which will be its own separate thing. Yeah, I kind of just work on making this little rooftop chilling spot, and then basically just put some walls around it at the bottom. Now, Gaston and Pate's house, the area was actually a bit bigger than I expected, so I kind of set up some fence to kind of box in the shape of the area I want to work in. Pate's gonna have an orchard, and she's gonna have one of those OG strawberry fields, like how we used to use pansies for strawberries, because I mean there are still no strawberries in the game, but you know what I mean. And it's gonna be nice. I want it to be very lively because the cliff behind Samson's house, you can see the farm, and I want to have like butterflies flying around the farm, and I want it to look cute because we're gonna have a lot of, we're gonna have a big carrot plot for Rabbit, and the strawberries and the orchard. It's gonna look very nice in the end, I hope. And that brings us to the end of this speed build. Thank you all so much for watching. My apologies for the lack of uploads. Busy. A lot of things have been going on recently. But I have been taking care of myself, as should all of you as well. I really like how this all came out in the end. I did change things here and there, like I added some of the garden wagons to Pate's area. But outside of that, I really like how it all came out. And I hope that, some of you can notice some of the changes if you choose to tour Acre Woods when the DA is ready. We don't have that many areas left, so hopefully it is finished by this month. Hopefully. Anyways, thank you all for watching. And I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.